Red pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Hey guys, and welcome to Dark Arts Podcast. You're back again for week 2. You want more punishment? I absolutely hear it. Today we're talking about the mind reading trap. This is where women test you by actually not telling you what they want and then punishing you when you don't actually meet their expectations. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like that, but for me personally, I've actually experienced it. And I'll tell you, from week 1 to week 2, we're following on that same story. I had a young lady who I went to a restaurant with, and we were talking about what we wanted to order. So in the beginning, we ordered our starters. But when I asked her, I said, "Do you want the main?" She said, "Oh, I don't know if I have room for that. Actually, I'll leave it alone." I said, "Fine, not a problem. I'm going to order my main because I want to eat." Okay, so we ordered our food. It took much longer than anticipated. And when it came over, she said, "Oh, where's my main?" "Darling, we didn't order your main." She's like, "Wait, what do you mean you didn't order the main? I ordered it. I thought you were going to choose between one of the two." I said, "No, darling, you said you wasn't going to have room for food. So I didn't actually order your food." Suddenly, she shifted the blame onto me about how I should have known that she would have wanted it. How would I have known? I don't even know you like that. But yet, she failed to take accountability. So, this is actually where we start our particular video. I want you to understand that this test of a mind reading trap is a test that you don't want to fail. But the failure isn't actually you not knowing what she wants. The failure is you not setting healthy boundaries with her, first and foremost. And number two, you not being able to communicate and let her know that she must express her needs. I didn't actually fully do that. Not all the way. I was a little bit afraid. I just didn't want to cause a hoo-ha. Oh, what's that? Afraid of conflict. That's what I was in that particular moment. I actually remember feeling the nerves a little bit. I was like, oh, I don't want to be that bastard guy that I've been in the past. But actually, I lost my masculine frame in that space, and I actually went into a more feminine space where I became more passive rather than being somebody who executes. All right. So let's get it started. Why is this a particular issue? Well, I want you to understand something. Okay. All right. That when women do this, okay, this is an insecure response. I want you to understand not every woman does this. Like, I know dating coaches are going to tell you women do it. It's not all women. This is a particular type of woman. So let me give you the archetype of the woman. If you study Attachment Styles by John Bowlby, a British psychologist, and Mary Ainsworth, I believe she is also Scottish, right? They came up with attachment styles. And what that is the way that we emotionally connect in relationships. They came up with 3 at first, but then the 4th one came with Mary Ainsworth. Here are the 3. The first one is secure people. Secure people are able to give love, receive love. They are emotionally available. They are able to take criticism and give you some. And they're also able to take direction. They don't just automatically assume. They don't go into a judgment space. They actually inquire. So let's say you ghosted them. They'll be like, actually, what's going on with you? Is something up with you? And they would ask what's happening. They don't personalize it. They're great. The problem is we are dealing with a lot of people who are in the other 3 categories: anxious, dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant. Yeah. So you're probably dealing with women in that space because all 3 of them are going to test you. You have the anxious woman who likes to cling, and as soon as you give her any kind of distance, she's afraid of abandonment. Then we have the dismissive type of woman who dismisses her feelings, very cold, very staunch, very stoic, almost like how a male is in 2025 at points, right? And she is likely to test you. And then there's a third one, fearful avoidant, who carries both the anxious and the avoidant traits. And they are afraid of betrayal, abandonment, and rejection. And by the way, sorry, I didn't say dismissive avoidant women are afraid of rejection. So anytime they feel like they're going to be rejected, they are going to do something to stop that feeling, right? And so if they're back into fearful avoidance, they're going to do anything to do to stop the betrayal, abandonment, or rejection. So what does that mean? It means that when women test you, they're testing you for safety. It means this: those women who do that are not secure. This is not one of the tests for secure people. Someone saying that they want you to read their mind and then punishing you after for not getting it right isn't somebody who's secure. So we should not make this across the board a type of woman that you want to be going after. But if you do encounter that woman and you do like her, I want you to pass that test. Okay? I want you to pass that test. Okay? So I want you to understand something. When she obviously said to me, "Look, I'll just, I can't believe you didn't order what I wanted," and had a little bit of a soft tantrum in a sense, right? In that particular moment, like I said, I didn't handle it well because I didn't give her good boundaries, and I did not let her know that she needs to communicate better. But we have to talk about this aspect. The reason why this is a problematic aspect is that if you fail this test, you are going to become one of her worshippers. I don't want you in that space. Here's why you become one of her worshippers. You are now going to be on the end of a string trying to consistently try to anticipate all her needs. She's not a baby. She's a grown-ass adult. And so she needs to be able to communicate what those needs are. Also, if you're just dating, you do not have the compass, nor do you have the depth, nor do you have the baseline to be able to understand, oh, I know what she means. When she says no, she really means yes. Like, you don't have that baseline. So I'm going to take you on your word. Plus, I got to believe in consent and I believe in boundaries. So I'm not going to override you. So you don't want to become a worshiper who's consistently like, okay, I'm gonna try and find out what this goddess wants. And at that point, when you're a worshiper, you will always be sacrificed. That is why you will not end up being the woman, that man who's gonna be with her. That is why she goes with somebody else. That is why she ends up liking somebody else. That is why she plays with you. Okay, you are conditioning her also to avoid accountability, because when she failed to order or tell you to order something and she puts the blame on you, what she's really saying is, you need to handle that for me, right? And then what happens is, now you are in a place where you got somebody who is going to shift the blame and they're not going to take accountability. That's a problematic aspect. Okay, so here's what you need to do, or here's what I should say. This test is not a test of love. It is not a test of connection. It is not a test of compatibility. It is a power move. And when a woman refuses to communicate and expects you to guess, she's creating a dynamic where you can only lose. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing. Here's what you need to do. Here's the best move that you can make. When you recognize a trap, the worst thing you can do is to apologize or try harder to guess right next time. Instead, call it out directly. It's funny because I actually did that on a conversation with the young lady later on. But by then it's been too late. She already had built up a mental image and it's far gone. But at least I got to say my piece a little bit later on, right? But here's what you need to do. You don't need to read her mind, but you need her to be direct in the communication, okay? You cannot read anybody's mind. You are not Xavier. You're not Jean Grey, okay? All right? You do not have mind reading powers. So here's what you're going to do. First and foremost, you need to set healthy boundaries. You need to make it clear that a healthy communication is required, that your standard is healthy communication. Your standard is that you want somebody who you can partner with, who can say, I want this or I don't want that. And if you can't do that, then maybe I'm not the right person for you, right? And you set that bar early. But if that situation happens to you, maybe at a restaurant, for instance, where they do that, set it there. Let the person know, hey, I want to let you know, listen, I'm a person that requires direct communication. If you do not directly communicate with me, I'm not going to sit there and guess. That kills it all. If she wants to throw a tantrum, leave her to it. You're going to let her know that you're above that and you're not playing that game with her. You're regulated. You're not doing that. And she's got two choices: get up and go. And I mean that in terms of relationship or getting to know you, or she's going to have to fix up and actually grow up and become mature. Okay. Number two is it shifts responsibility back to her. She's responsible for her and her needs. So if she cannot express them, that's on her. So you need to let her know, listen, you need to express your needs and you need to tell me that. You can't expect me to read your mind. Okay. And that shifts the responsibility back onto her, not into you. Don't take it on. See, when you start personalizing it and trying to take it on, what you're going to do is you're placing yourself in a worshiper position. And somebody who does that is somebody who's not secure. So guess what? I wasn't secure in that moment. Okay. By holding your ground, you are establishing yourself as a man who doesn't play these games. And then you earn the respect of that lady. Like I said, either she's going to say that she wants to continue playing them games and she can go far left, or she's going to be like, I can't play with him. I need to do better. Okay. Now, if this is something that you have been going through or you've been experiencing or you have experienced before and you want to make sure you're passing these tests, listen, this is why I coach. This is why I do what I do. This is why I love talking about relationships. It's probably what gets me into trouble a lot. I want to help you. Okay. So I want you to reach out to me, sign up to the coaching. Let's get you working through those things, because actually these are actually deeper issues. These are to do with boundaries. These are to do with your voice. This is to do with self-esteem and self-worth issues. There are those things that are actually a bedrock or foundation that will help you do that one task. And I want to see you grow and win. Okay. So do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button. And then I want you to do something. Turn up for week 3, because we're going to do some more. Because we need to break all these chains. Okay. Don't let nobody play with you. All right. If she's going to test you with a mind trap, you need to. Okay. Let me not. I was going to say something wild. I'm going to say something wild.
Take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland.